Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Angela Fabulites. I am live again from the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History, the Charles Howard Wright Museum of African American History. Just finishing up day one of African Liberation Day. I'm by the door. I thought it would be a little quieter and less busy here. And it probably is relatively, so you'll just have to bear with me. But I got a reaction to it. The theme for the event this year was, it's always liberation through education, but the particular theme this year was resistance, rebellion, reparations. So Dr. Julianne Malveaux spoke, attorney, I can't remember her name, Cam Howard, maybe Nkenje Zo, I'm not sure, and then Dr. Ron Daniels, who's a founder of African Liberation Day. This is our 44th year of celebrating African Liberation Day here in Detroit. So I'm just going to go through some of the key points, some of the things that I wrote down. Okay, so every day has to be African Liberation Day. If you're African and it's a day, then it's an African Liberation Day for you. Okay. Someone quoted Frederick Douglass, "We must resist, we must resist, we must resist." Someone mentioned the fact that the Caribbean, 15 nations in the Caribbean, I'm not familiar with this, they formed a reparations commission and came up with a 10-point program. And as a result of that, it sort of reinvigorated what had been going on here in the United States. So now we have a reparations commission, HR 40, which has been put before Congress repeatedly by Conyers, who's a Michigan, Detroit congressperson, has been reinvigorated. We have a 10-point program. I don't know if I said that as well. I think it was 1988 that HR 40 first went on the floor of Congress. Dr. Malveaux kind of alluded to the deliberate and ongoing public policy against Black people. And the three-legged stool of not reparations, but the three-legged stool of harassment, torture, humiliation, taking away from African folks, included lost wages from enslavement, blocking Black folks' ability to accumulate and participate, and deleterious public policy. For example, here in Detroit, the bankruptcy allowed them to cut people's pensions. There's some rumor or some idea that people were getting rich off of pensions. People were making $2,000 a month on pensions, and they had worked for 80 million years in order to get that $2,000 a month. That's some bull. So, but that is a way to remove wealth from the community, or not. I mean, some wealth, I use that term loosely. It is possible to have economic development without economic justice. Who benefits? We have to ask, when we're talking about economic development, who benefits, and is this economic justice? She talked about compassionate versus predatory capitalism. Ain't nan one of them boo-boo, but given the choice, compassionate capitalism is going to be a better deal for Black folks than predatory capitalism. Number 45 obviously represents a victory for predatory capitalism and all things predatory. 1988 was the start of HR 40, Conyers. The 2001 Durban concert of World Racism, it seems like I'm vaguely familiar with that, but not really. Another thing that came up that I didn't know anything about is that this is the third year of the UN decade for people of African descent. I'm of African descent, I know. So anyway, someone mentioned that Colombia has the third largest population of African descendants in this hemisphere. Hey, good, how you doing? Someone mentioned the Alabama claim, which was in 1871, and it was the U.S. against Britain. So the United States supposedly got reparations from Britain in 1871. There was this talk of 4 levels of criminals when we talk about the injustices that have been done toward Africans. Not just governments, but families, corporations, and institutions as well have benefited. So that's what I got. And then the last thing that I have is a website, lbw21.org. And apparently, or what I heard is that's the largest database of information on reparations out there. And then also, what's the young guy, Ta-Nehisi Coates, that everybody's talking about, whose work I have yet to read. But apparently he's done some work on reparations that might be worth looking into. And then, of course, there is The Debt by, dang, I'm blanking on his name, The Debt, D-E-B-T. And I read one of his pieces of fiction, too. Is it Randall Robinson? I'm just blanking on that. And then Malvo has some books that she was promoting, and the other attorney, I can't remember her name, but I'll try to put the link in the notes. But that's what I got, Fabulites. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being fabulous. Thanks for being fabulous you. Like, comment, subscribe.